crucial to setting up what we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit
And we
the
are
planet.
live.
And we won't be doing this alone.
With the robots on
Italian
Mars.
Space Agency and SpaceX recently signed a first-of-its-kind
All right.
agreement to carry
Let
Italian
me
experiments on the
sort
first
some things
Starship
out
missions
here.
to deliver customer payloads to Mars. So these payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a weather monitoring station, and also a radiation sensor to gather scientific data during Starship's approximately 6-month interplanetary coast phase from Earth to Mars, and also on the Martian surface.
It's a really exciting mission. Makes showing up for work really fun for us. We're going to need to launch a whole lot more, though. So while we're just under 8 minutes away from launch today, let's head back over to Tyler and Hawthorne, talk a little bit about how we're going to be increasing the number of Starship launches going forward. Tyler?
Thank
Can
you,
we
Dan
just
and
talk
Amanda.
about
so
getting
to put it
this one
plainly,
working,
in order
please?
to launch more Starships, we need to build more launch
everyone.
pads.
Hey,
That's
Roderick.
exactly what we're
Very
doing
boring
at
name.
Space Launch Complex 37 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
Vasar, I know
Now,
it's
Pad
a 5.
37 has a
Ben,
storied history,
Paul,
most
Ian Scott
recently
Johnson
the
in the
Delta IV
house.
rocket and for the missions for
Third
the US
time's the
government.
charm. Looks
And
like
prior
it.
to that, the pad supported critical development
Wackman,
for the Apollo
Andrew,
lunar program
Thomas,
in the 1960s.
Michael,
And we are honored to have
Dr.
the
Run.
opportunity to continue
Hang on, I
making
need a drink.
spaceflight history at Pad 37 with Starship. But first, we need to optimize the pad. So earlier this year, we started dismantling some of the existing infrastructure to prep the site for Starship operations. This will include
I'm
up
running
to
late 'cause
76
I just
launches
got
a year,
in.
with up to
kids off.
152 landings at that location for Super Heavy and for Starship. And to support this flight rate, we plan on building 2 launch pads. Each will have 1 tower that can support launch and landing. plus
Okay, can
deflector
everyone
systems,
give me
launch mounts,
a
and water
5x5
deluge systems.
on
This will
on
also
the
include
audio?
a propellant
Their
farm
audio
that
in
will
the
produce
background should be
propellant
slightly
on-site
lower than
and
my
serve both
audio.
launch pads. So there is
That's
a
the
lot
plan.
of work in progress, but Pad 37 is only one
Give me a
part of our
rating out of
plan for
5.
Starship operations in Florida. A few miles away from Pad 37 at
Hey,
Kennedy
James
Space
from
Center,
Ohio.
our 380-foot-tall vertical
Jake,
integration
10-6,
facility called
Josh.
Gigabay is under construction.
2x4.
Once complete next year,
Sounds good on
Gigabay
both.
will be
4,
capable
5
of
out of
housing
5 by
multiple
Wackman.
Starships simultaneously for rapid
trust
assembly
Wackman.
and integration. And
5 out
meanwhile,
of 5,
at
says
Launch
Michael.
Complex
Excellent.
39A, we're building
Excellent.
Starship's infrastructure to support up to 44 launches and up to 88 landings a year, independent
Yeah, 44
of operations
launches
at Pad
and 88
37.
landings a year.
So
Awesome.
with 2
Great.
launch
Can we
complexes
just
in Florida,
focus on this
we'll
one,
have
please?
the ability to fly up to 120 Starships annually, not including our flights
Yes,
in Starbase.
okay, thank you.
So,
We get it.
action is well underway in Florida. How's it looking in Texas?
Thanks, Tyler. Things are continuing to
Tyler.
look good for launch
That's the
here in
name.
Texas, so getting pretty close here with just under 6 minutes left. You mentioned Gigabay. We're currently laying the foundation for a Gigabay here at Starbase as well, and we expect it to
Gigabay.
be up and running sometime next year. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of Starships on the way, and we're
Well,
going to need more
there's
hands
gonna
on
be
deck.
no need for
So
Gigabay
come
if
help
this
us
one
build
doesn't
the
work.
gateway to Mars. Visit spacex.com/careers
Although I'm
to see
thinking
all of our
that
openings.
Yeah,
They
I've
still
been here
don't
for a couple
care.
of years now. No more.
I forgot to
nowhere
say
more
this
magical,
yesterday,
more
but
inspirational on the
well,
planet.
they
If you're a
care,
space nerd,
obviously,
you
if this
come,
one's
be
a
like
success or
Amanda,
not.
Build these
But
things for real. It's
they,
pretty insane.
but
It's
because
super
they're still
exciting.
testing, like they've
And,
still
yeah,
got deliberately,
come check us
they've
out.
got
All right.
tiles missing
Absolutely,
on
it's
this
surreal
thing.
to be here for sure.
Deliberately tiles
okay,
missing.
so
Oh, sorry,
we are
I'll show
looking
the.
like
I'll
we're
turn the
about 5
comments on.
minutes away
Deliberately
from
got
launch
tiles
and heading
missing.
into terminal count.
And so,
range and weather
like,
are
if
continuing
they
to
really
look good, and prop load
like,
continues
if this
on both
was
stages
like,
of Starship.
if
We'll
this
close
was
out
gonna
here in
like,
just a minute or so.
like,
Yeah,
just sink
we're
the whole
just
thing.
about
If
done,
it didn't
looks
work,
like. Let me
then
grab
they
my
would
numbers real quick.
go
We're
with
not
the
tracking
safest
any
possible
issues.
option,
We are
which is to go with their safest tile
just creeping
design,
up to
etc.
90% full on the locks,
And
on the booster,
go
a little
100%.
over
But no, they got
93% on
tiles
ship,
missing deliberately
or,
just
sorry,
to stress
fuel
test
on the
this thing.
booster. And then
So,
ship, we're just
yeah.
about to close out, so only a couple of minutes to go there. Once we're done, you've got
Zero shits given
just shy
about
of 11
failure.
million pounds of liquid propellant on board.
It's
There's two
their
different
audio's
stages.
a bit loud.
We'll
You reckon?
see a
Video
couple of
audio needs to be a
final
bit
things
lower.
happen.
Oh, okay.
Can't
That
really
one's a
see
bit
it. It's
loud.
all going to be
Okay.
happening in our ground
Thank
systems
you.
as we'll do
I
pushbacks.
can,
Clear all of the propellant out of those lines that are flowing up through the tower and into the vehicles and get ready for launch. We just did our final guidance, navigation, and control system checkouts.
Oh, man.
Our flight safety system is being armed right now.
Okay,
and we're
how's
doing our
that?
final wiggle
It's a
checks
little bit lower.
shortly with the
It's a little bit
engines,
lower on their end.
on the thrust vector control. It's how we're steering the rocket. If we need to hold,
This is
which we
V2,
are
yeah,
not
they got
currently
V4 and
tracking a reason to
V,
hold,
V3
that
and
would
V4
come
in the
at
works,
T-minus
yeah.
40 seconds. You saw us do that
Yeah, it's
yesterday.
incredible.
We can hang out there for about 8
Great
minutes
shot,
or
look at
so
that.
right now. That's
Amazing.
the point. It's built into the countdown. if we need to wait.
Don't see any
for
missing tiles on
clouds
that
just won't
on that
go the heck
top
away,
nose.
or any other issues, we can hang out at T-40 for a bit. But
I believe they've got a whole bunch on the bottom.
Now, once we
Saw a
pass
photo
that
yesterday.
T-40-second mark,
crazy.
a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight
Those who
pressure.
don't know, they are
Ship will
not,
switch over to
I
internal
repeat,
power,
not
and
going
after
for the
that,
tower
the
catch,
QD
and they are
on lockout
not
is removed in preparation for
going
retraction,
for
which occurs shortly
so
after
no tower
T0.
catch on the booster
Once
and
we
no
pass
tower
that
catch on the
T-40
Starship.
seconds,
Both
we do
are just
still
going
have the
to
ability
soft
to
land
then
in
recycle
the ocean.
count under certain
Again.
conditions back to T-40 seconds
So,
and hold there
yep.
to assess what happened, and if we can proceed.
It sounds
again
like they
back
go.
down to
Like
liftoff.
range was green, weather's
Right, we do
green,
have
everything
at
was
least one point of no return.
everything
though,
was
if
green.
the
So
water
looks like we
cooled
go
flame
today.
deflector
I'd be
underneath the
surprised if
launch
they
mount
stopped it.
fires
There'd have
off.
to be a
That
last
happens a
minute
little bit
pickup.
after T-10 seconds. That doesn't turn
Hey,
off once
QS.
it starts going. So we would have to stand down for the day if we do hit a hold or an
Sounds
abort
good.
at that
Guess you
point,
won't unsub
so
that.
we can refill water tanks. At this point,
Yeah,
not sure
soft
if we'd
land
be
in the
able
ocean
to
still counts
attempt
as a win.
tomorrow
Yes,
'cause
it
we have
does.
fully
Yes, it
loaded the
does.
vehicle.
Because I
We
don't
have to
think
do
they
a
want to
lot of
endanger their
fancy scheduling to
stand
get
because
propellant
they
in
don't
here
have a
as fast
test
as
stand at the
possible, but
moment.
again, we've got a
Or their
pretty
tower.
heroic
Don't
and
want to
amazing
endanger their
team that
tower
works
because they
all
don't
of
have a
those
test stand.
logistics, got us
This test
into our
stand blew
attempt
up.
today after we did a
Oops.
unplanned wet dress yesterday during our attempt.
What's all the
So
white
really
smoke?
exciting
It's
to
not
see,
smoke.
but
That's the
coming up on 2
not
minutes.
a chemist. You got to
We've
watch
got
one of the other
a green
YouTubers,
range.
but that is
We are
normal
green
venting.
for weather.
That
Green
is
has always been
cold
my favorite
temperature
color,
venting.
only
That's
more so now. And we are
that's
not
all the
tracking
liquid
any issues
there.
with the vehicle today. So
Liquid
we're looking
oxygen
good. 2 minutes to go.
coming out, isn't it, or something? Some byproduct of that.
Yeah, again, not
Sorry.
planning on holding at
Not a rocket
T-40
scientist.
seconds right now, but in case we do pass that and any issues come up, we can recycle the count. We're pretty lucky
They
that
said
we
they're
have
gonna hold
this
at 40
ability. Falcon doesn't have
seconds,
that built in, but being a
which is their
developmental program,
standard.
this affords us a lot more flexibility.
That is 40
so
seconds is
super
their standard
useful to be
system
able
hold.
to have that, but again, not currently
So
tracking
nothing
any
unusual.
issues, so hopefully we'll be good to launch
Not predicting
today.
any issues.
Right,
I think
coming
they're
up
going to
on
hold
90
at 40 seconds,
We've
and
got
then
a
they're
pretty
just
good
going to
crowd gathering with
double
us
check
right
everything.
outside Star Factory here at Starbase.
Satchel,
Looks
David?
like we're getting a quick TVC, that wiggle check.
Guillermo, cold air. Yeah, it's
Right
just
under the
yeah. I
launch
think
mount.
it's just like literally condensation coming off.
All right, so we've
So,
got
yeah,
crowds
I think we
gathered
go.
out at Hawthorne, crowds gathered here at Starbase.
It will
Super fun
stop
to see people
at
getting to walk out on
40
the front
seconds
lawn now.
for a bit,
1 minute to go.
and
to
unless
launch.
nobody gets nervous,
All right, so again,
excitement
our hold
guaranteed,
point comes
only
up
at
T-minus 40,
0,000.
Not tracking any reason to stop there, so we should
no,
see us go
they,
right through that.
they're going to go right through the 40. Yep. Where
Right.
go for launch?
We are
Go for
through
launch.
T-minus 40.
Yep. Here we
We're
go.
Counting down.
All right.
We're going to let
Here
our
we
flight
go.
director,
Yep.
Maciek Batura, take us the rest of the way. 30 seconds.
Third
to
attempt.
10 lift
Well,
off
fourth
of
attempt if you
Starship.
count the one that blew up. So, yep, this is still an experimental Starship, but they do have the deployment of the dummy Starlink thing. So open the pod bay doors, Hal. Here we go, 10 seconds.
10, 9,
This thing's going to go. The booster is 95% sure the booster's going to do its business again. Booster's awesome. Starship's the problem. Vroom! Can feel it from here. Oh, look at that.
we lift off.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, the booster's all engines. All engines. Of course it is. The booster's great. Those engines are great. Man. They're so good. 33 of them. Whoa, look at that. Beautiful.
Chamber pressure nominal.
Chamber pressure nominal. I love the exposure they get on those engines there on the camera. They've got that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow.
All right, we're a little over 40 seconds into flight.
is great.
33 out of
Booster
33
Yeah, it's a
gravity.
beast indeed.
Telemetry nominal.
Power and telemetry nominal. Awesome.
Good
Yeah, the
call-outs, healthy
boosters.
systems on the booster as it starts to pitch over
Booster's the
Gulf.
best thing ever. They've absolutely nailed this booster. Now they just need to find a job for it. Let's go to the moon, please.
All right, we're a little over 1 minute.
Put a
into
normal
flight,
lander on the
about to
top.
Pass through max Q.
Heck, put a
All right, so
Blue
we are
Origin
through the
lander
period
on
of
top.
Maximum dynamic pressure, max stress on the vehicle as it continues to fly.
Maximum, look at that.
Our next major event is going
Fantastic.
to be hot staging, which is happening in just over 90 seconds from now.
Yeah, the hot
To get
staging, which
ready,
means
the
they
booster will shut
they
down
do it
all
with
but
the
3
engines
of its
still
Raptor
going.
engines. The
They
clamps
actually
holding the 2 stages together will release,
separate them
and
while the
Starship
engines are
second
still
stage
going.
ignites its
Oh,
engines.
one engine's gone.
The ship then separates from
One
the Super
engine's
Heavy
gone.
booster and
There
heads
you
to
go.
space.
That's.
At the same time, the 3
That's
engines
unusual,
still firing on Super Heavy
it's
will
fine.
flip the booster around.
I think
10
they can
more
lose like
engines will
3
ignite
at
for the
least,
boost back burn,
at
putting the
this
first
stage.
stage on the path for splashdown.
And they're
in the
good. So
Gulf.
one's gone.
As we mentioned earlier, the hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight, and that should occur just after the boost back burn. So
Hasn't
we're about to
exploded
shut
or
down
caused a
the
problem.
first
It just
stage and
looks like
perform
it's
hot
just shut
staging.
down.
So let's just
Hasn't
watch and
impacted
listen.
anything else around it. Hot end of the cigarette. No, I haven't seen that meme. Why do I not like Starship? It's not that I don't like Starship. It's just that it's a jack of all trades, masters of none. It is not the vehicle that they should have selected for the human landing system on the moon. It is not what they should have selected.
seeing the
It is
engine start to
totally not
throttle
what
down.
we need. And I'm not alone in that opinion. I think almost everyone
Miko.
in the space community is of that opinion. Here we go. Shut down.
Ship
And they've got the 3 inner ones still going. No problems. Separation, there it is. There's hot. Oh, yeah, that one engine's still down. Okay. That shouldn't
Stage
impact the
separation
soft
confirmed.
landing
We've
of the
got 6
booster.
engines
I don't
running
think.
on ship. Booster is doing its boost back burn, continuing now.
It can
towards
compensate for
its
that.
splashdown site in the Gulf.
Ship
We are
Raptor
seeing
chamber
all 6
pressure is
Raptors
nominal.
lit up on ship.
Tumble in again? What? No, it's not.
You heard them report ship chamber pressures nominal, so that chamber pressure, just that expected
It's all
thrust
good.
level.
They
in
shut 'em
those
down.
Raptor
They're back to the
engines
3.
on the ship. 3 vacuum optimized,
Ship
3 sea
avionics,
level,
power and
all
telemetry
looking
nominal.
good.
Oh, sorry. I'm. Oh, the chat. Sorry. Yeah, I can't. Oh, now I can't bloody see the. Hang on.
There's a view into the
Done with me?
business end from the ship.
Boost back burn. shut
Okay. So Starship's under the comments. Can you still see it? You can still see it under the comments. So I'll leave the comments there. Sorry, I can't move the comments, but you can still see the stuff under there. You can still see the
Right, so at
speed
this
and
point,
the
we
engine.
finished
So the
our
one on the
boost
right,
back
bottom right,
burn, so that
is
was
the
shut down.
Starship
So that's
engines.
The first
3
of the
inner and the
2
3 outer
burns
ones.
after a launch that the booster's going to do today. So now it's
So Starship's going
headed
gangbusters.
towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive.
And where's
of a
the
flight
engine
down. We relax that angle of
Display
attack
on
a little
the
bit,
booster.
but we are then going to be looking for it to do its engine tests for the landing burn. And
They've
those are going to be a
removed
little
that.
unique
Didn't
this
they have
time.
that last time?
Yeah, typically we start with all 13.
The booster is
center
what they call
inner
super
engines
heavy.
lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center.
Gorgeous
3.
shots. Look
But
at
one of
that.
our test objectives for today is
Wow.
to simulate what an engine out situation would look like. So we're going to be intentionally turning off one of those center 3 and instead lighting.
They
one
will
of the
turn it off.
engines
Yeah,
from the
they're
middle 10 ring.
experimenting like
Yeah,
buggery
we did
on this
see
thing.
one of those engines in the middle ring shut down.
So
during
odds
the
of
initial
fire
blast.
is
Oh,
in
looks like
Starship
we
is
have
actually
hot
quite
stage
high.
jettison. You can see it floating away there to the left of the booster.
Wow.
Yeah, we did see one of those middle engines shut down during the ascent. Again, we are resilient to engine now
Beautiful.
on Super
Starship
Heavy.
flying
That's why we're
nominal
able to get
trajectory.
through our ascent.
It's amazing they can get that tracking shot.
Starship flying on the
That's
expected
incredible.
path. There's still a chance that
And you'll
engine
see
could be
those
back in
engines
the
heat
mix
up.
for the
You'll
very
see 'em
start
turn
of the
red, but they're
landing
not
burn,
turning
so
on.
We'll see if we light up all 13.
They're turning red due to
But
the
we've-
friction.
I mean, we've even done a landing burn at the tower with an engine out, so very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way
Okay.
down to the Gulf.
They've
though.
done a tower catch with an engine out, so no problems. They can do a tower catch with an engine out.
Right, so we got a couple of minutes.
They can
That
do soft landing
burn
on the
start
water.
Should be
No worries.
just about 40
Confidence is
seconds
high.
away.
I reckon the booster will do its job. It's lost one engine, no problem. It looks like it's shut down, no problem.
That's always
It can
rad.
survive that.
See the
Now, those engines are not lit.
see the
Like I
big
said,
plume
clouds in the
itself
way.
the background
But
as it was
those
coming
engines,
in.
those engines, you can see they're red. They are not lit.
About 20 seconds.
They are
to
red
landing
because of the friction. They're heating up. That's mad.
Ship Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
What was that? Huh? Okay, we've got our engine
here we
display
go.
back.
Landing burn startup.
Here he is. Yep. All but that one engine. Yep.
Looks like we got
Whoa.
12 of those 13.
Down to 3.
Oh yeah.
including one
Okay.
in
So
the
it's
middle
turned
ring.
on that other one to compensate. Has it? It's going to do it. Yeah, of course it is. It's the booster. Still watching the Starship.
Down to 2.
Starship's still good.
Landing burn
Nice
shutdown.
little hover.
200. Yep. Here it is.
And landing burn
Got some
shutdown.
splash. Landing burn shutdown. I hope there's a barge. Well, there should be a barge
Here
there where
we
they get
come.
good. Did I see a barge? Wow.
And the booster
Yep.
has splashed down.
No surprise whatsoever. 95% confidence.
Incredible flight for booster today.
Yep. Fantastic. All right.
Meanwhile, back
We
in
all knew
space,
that was going to be a success. That's not a problem.
about
It's
7
been
minutes
proven
into
like,
today's
what,
flight,
7
ship
times now or
continuing
something? I
its
don't know.
ascent burn. This goes until
great.
just
I love the
about
booster.
9 minutes into our flight. That ship engine cutoff is slated for 8
Anyway,
minutes
Starship
and
looks stable. Look
57
at that. That's
seconds.
gorgeous
we are
shot.
Gonna see those 3 RVAC, the Raptor vacuum engines. Those are the bigger circles in that little
Yep.
indicator on the bottom right of
Yeah,
your
the
screen.
vacuum
Those will
jobbies.
shut down first, and we continue burning for a couple seconds longer on those inner 3 before we hit SECO, second engine cutoff.
Why is the ship spinning? It's not spinning.
Yeah, these views are looking great. Once
It's
again,
just looks
thanks to
like it's just
Starlink
doing its
for
thing.
getting us these views. It's just incredible. And we just heard
Wow.
the sound from booster.
It's like we just.
All
we
right.
just
Will
got
the
a-
pod bay doors open? I don't know when.
a late boom from the booster.
No, it'll be after SECO. It'll be, I don't know. They haven't put it up here in the infographic, but because it's like 40 minutes or something. They're
Yeah, we have
It
ship
takes like
engine
40
cutoff
minutes.
coming up here just shortly.
maybe not that
And as
long
we
to do a
mentioned,
full
today's
orbit in
flight
40
test is not
minutes.
an orbital flight,
But they're not
rather
going to
one that
orbit?
demonstrates Starship's orbital
Yeah,
capability.
the flat Earth.
Starship
Yep.
terminal guidance.
Look, it's obviously flat. Look at it. You can see it. It's completely flat.
All right, entering the final phase of this burn.
Yeah,
30
20,000
seconds
kilometers
to
an
go.
hour. 148 Ks, way past the Kármán line. Excellent shot. Look at that. Beautiful. I assume that venting up there is normal.
All right, shut down the vacuum engines.
Oh, there we go. Yep. Yep, vacuum engines. Yep, you shut down. You saw them shut down. Change color there and then switch off.
Ship engine cutoff.
We shut down
Yep.
those center 3. Successful ship engine cutoff.
All right, now they have to relight them. That's one of their
Seco,
tests for
baby,
this
here
mission
we
is
go.
to relight the
That's what
engine
we want.
in
Nominal
space.
orbit insertion.
All right, we
Nominal
just heard the
orbit
call out for
insertion.
Nominal orbital insertion.
But they're not doing a full orbit.
All right,
They're just
the
coming back
ship
down.
Is in space.
Oh, the grid fin.
we go.
That is the camera on the grid
Seeing the
fin
flaps
moving.
starting
That's not the ship
To
moving.
move into a stowed position. That's why it looks like
Yep.
your camera's moving.
Yeah, exciting to see Starship safely in space and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today. And of course, as guaranteed, it's
can
been
orbit
an
around the flat
exciting
Earth, no
day so
problem.
far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Oh, look at that.
Thankfully,
Beautiful.
our weather was
There's those
looking
test
good
tiles.
today.
Look, they've got some test tiles on the
Yeah,
upper
and
surface of the
booster,
fin.
We had our soft splashdown in the Gulf, so ship continues on.
Yeah, ship able to complete its ascent.
I don't know how much
burn
testing you
all
get
the
there,
way
because
in.
technically
You
that
can see
side
some
of the
shadows start to creep
fin
as
is
it's
not
going to be eventually flying
not in the
into
friction,
an
so-
orbital nighttime. So we'll see some daylight start to go away.
Wow.
But ship is in orbit, completed its burn, and I mean that's just the beginning. Now we've got a whole bunch more to go. So we've got some exciting demonstrations
Ship
planned
FPS is
while
safe.
we're on orbit.
Why aren't they on the display?
That right there, we just saved the FTS, the flight termination system. That's that automatic flight safety
Okay,
system
so
we
that
have
it can't
on the
blow itself
vehicle.
up.
So that is now turned off.
So if
The
it
ship
blows up
starts
now,
its coast
it's not
period.
because the termination
We
system blew
are
up.
coming up, our next milestone is going to be the deployment of those Starlink simulators. We've got some
Excellent.
payload
Open the pod
inside
bay
of
doors, Hal.
Starship that we're hoping to deploy into space for the very first time. That deploy is supposed to start at about 18 minutes and 27 seconds into the flight, so just about 7 minutes from now.
Yeah, the
that
ice, look
deploy
at
will
it,
take
just, yeah,
place over
it's
a couple
floating
of minutes.
off.
It'll go about 1 satellite a minute, so we'll be spread out over that. It might get a little dark, but we've got a couple of views that we can show you.
Excellent. They do plan to show us.
In action.
Excellent.
After that, we're also looking to do a relight of a single Raptor engine while we are in space. We've done this once before. This is not necessary to deorbit, as we are in a suborbital trajectory.
Yes,
but
they are
this
suborbital.
is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be able to do.
And for those who say, oh, they can't even reach orbit, again,
a little bit later in the flight, about
that's
37
not,
minutes
they
or so
are
into the flight,
deliberately not going
and
to
then we get
orbit.
into re-entry.
Deliberately.
We're looking to get that light
So,
show, and more importantly,
Please slap
get that
any
really
person who
critical
says
data about
Starship
ships
can't
and
make it to orbit. Hasn't
Yeah,
made it to
exactly.
orbit in
About
10 flights.
2 +
Please just
45
slap them.
minutes, we'll be heading for
Because that
re-entry.
is,
Again,
it's
running those experiments
not
with
true.
the tiles. We're going to be doing missing
It
tiles,
can,
metallic
if
tiles,
they wanted to.
and also intentionally
But they don't
building
do
those
it for
vehicle
safety
slabs.
testing reasons.
Hopefully, we'll also see
Very
a
deliberate choice.
splashdown in the Indian Ocean today.
No.
Yeah, we were able to get to a re-entry last time, but we didn't have
Powered by
attitude
Starlink.
control,
Sorry, it's
so
under my head. You can't see
we
it.
weren't able to go
Powered
in,
by
heat
Starlink.
shield first the way we're designed
There we
to.
go. Powered by
so we ended
Starlink.
up losing contact with the ship
Starlink's
before
great.
we could make it all the way through.
The footage they're getting from this
So you
is
still get data, but you're not
incredible.
really getting the data that we want to make sure we're kind of stress testing the vehicle. As Amanda just said, we removed a bunch of tiles, and we do this in some intentionally scary places on the vehicle because we're really looking
intentionally scary.
that we're vulnerable to this.
So it's like,
before we
yeah,
ever
it
start
deliberately,
moving
like it
towards,
may not
bringing-
survive
putting
re-entry
ship to a
because they
full
designed
orbital
it to
mission
stress
and
it.
then do re-entries
rather than play it
a little bit
safe.
later on. So really, really critical.
Yes,
to
you have
get
to
that
use the
data.
word
Really
please,
looking
Vince.
forward to
Open
a
the pod bay
controlled
doors,
re-entry.
please, Hal.
Yeah, for sure. As we always say, our main payload is data. But today we also have some actual payload.
No,
on board,
they it's
and those
they
simulators
they're
that
not taken to
Starship will be
orbit
deploying,
because
we'll see
once
coming
you
up
take
here
it to
in just a
orbit,
few minutes, these are dummy
see, this
satellites
thing
that
is
are
so
about the
big.
same
Oh, there it
size
is.
as our
There's the
V3
inside shot of the
Starlinks.
dummy
We
Starlink
have 8 in the
simulators. What is
Starship,
that?
has
8 of them?
dispenser, and expect to deploy at a rate of about 1 per minute, as Dan mentioned
The
earlier.
reason that they don't
Starlink is critical in all of our flights on Starship to get
the reason
our
that they
payload
don't
data,
go
as
to
we
orbit
always
is
say.
because once you're in
And
orbit,
fact, it's Starlink that's
and
currently
because this
providing
thing
these
is
views
so
we
big
see as
and
Starship
so
cruises
heavy
a couple
that
hundred
it will
kilometers
survive
above our home
re-entry,
planet,
right? It will
and
hit the
provides
ground. It
real-time
will,
telemetry
debris
through
will
every
hit
phase
the
of
ground.
flight.
And once you're in
Yeah, we
orbit,
took
if
a
you don't
peek
have, if you
inside
can't
of the
control your
Starship payload bay
re-entry
there for a
precisely,
second. So there's
then
8
it
of
could
them.
fall on
They're-
someone's head,
they kinda
right?
look just
And
big
that's the problem.
steel
So that's
plates,
why they
essentially. They're
deliberately don't go
roughly
to
the
orbit.
same size
Is because
as
where
those
when it's
V3
on
satellites.
a
When we do
non-orbital
get that view
trajectory, they know
inside of the
exactly where
payload
it's going to
bay,
land,
the payload
right?
door
It's
will
just
kinda
going
be
to, even
on
if it
your
breaks
right,
up, explodes, does
and we'll
whatever,
start to see them
rapid,
go out like a Pez dispenser.
rapid unexpected disassembly,
Yeah, here's a
it's
look
just
inside.
going to
So
land
those
exactly
right
in the
down
area
there in
they've
the
already
center,
zoned
they're
off.
kinda
So
two
everything's
stacks of
safe.
4
So
on either
that's why they
side.
do it. And they've
Then
done
the
that 10
payload door
times. And
is
you can
just
argue
to their
that they
right.
should have just gone for
So we'll
orbit,
look
but
to see that open,
they're
and then
deliberately
those
playing it
satellites
safe.
start to go. We vent the nose
So,
cone, so we essentially
I'm
bring
not
it
sure if there's
down
any
to
pressure
vacuum
from the powers
before
that
we
be
open
that
the
they
door.
do that.
That was one of the things we ran into
or
on
not.
the last flight.
Or whether or not
when we
that's
had
just
that
an
fuel
internal call
diffuser
from
fail,
them.
The pressure in the nose
But
cone
this thing's so
became
big, so heavy, it
basically
will
too
survive. It
high
won't burn up.
for the actuator of the
This
door
thing
to
will
open.
hit the ground
So that's why
somewhere.
we weren't able to get the door open that time. We have not seen anything like that on this flight. Everything's looking good.
The
with our
cargo
fuel
bay is not
our
pressurized.
fuel press system. So
I don't
we are
think so.
hopefully just a couple of minutes away from seeing.
Pretty sure it's not
that
pressurized.
payload door open and getting to our first ever payload. It's not the first payload we've ever carried, but it's the first one we're going to try and shoot off.
Got
into
the
space.
have they got the famous banana? Didn't they do a banana last time? But anyway,
All right,
it's looking
so
good.
I think
It's not
we're
tumbling out of
supposed to
control.
open
You
the
can see
payload
that
door in
just under
about
the
a
chat there.
minute and change.
You can see it's not
And
it's not
you're seeing a
tumbling, it's
little
not
bit of
rolling.
residual gas, and we opened the door once. I want to say it was back on flight 3 when we were able to make it up into space.
Flight 3.
And you'll kind of see a lot of that gas rushing out into the vacuum of space.
Oh, there
It's
is
the
gas.
residual
Okay,
that's
so they
left
do fill
over,
it with the gas, but it's
after
not.
We've already vented it down.
It's not
So,
I don't think it's
kind of a cool
pressurized. I
light
think
show,
it is gas filled.
and then we'll get ready to deploy those
Probably
payloads.
what those
out.
tanks there are? Don't know. They can depressurize it through a valve? Probably. Okay. I didn't think it was under pressure.
And as we
I
mentioned,
can't see
so
why
we
you'd do
have
that. Why
crossed
would you?
over now at this point into an orbital nighttime.
Why would you
so
do that?
views from the outside
What would be
will
the
get
advantage of
dark.
pressurizing the
But
payload compartment?
we'll see what we can see. We do
I don't
this.
get it.
We do this by design. We've been launching these later in the day here in Texas to try and get daytime views. When
Probably
we
slightly
splash down, so
pressurized to
daytime
assist,
over in
assist
the
with
Indian
hull
Ocean,
integrity. Yeah, that
where
would
we
make
are
sense.
currently headed.
Okay. Yeah.
Just a few seconds until we expect those payload doors to open.
Well, few seconds. Okay. So where are they? Where are the? Is it? Where are the door?
All right.
Where
one
is the
more
door?
time. Open
it
the
here?
pod bay doors, Hal.
Yes, they said it. Thank you. Yeah, you can see the. Whoa! There we go. Yeah, something just happened then. There it is. It's moving. Look, look. It's opening. Yes. Hal is cooperating. Look at that. It's open. Winner, winner.
So we are
Now-
currently in payload deploy prep.
Wow. Yes. They're actually finally this Block 2 thing is
Door
working.
is open.
Oh my god. All right. Come on. Don't trust Hal. Well, Hal cooperated.
All right, so the payload
now-
door is open. We should see the first.
Surely this is just like
satellite start to
springs and
deploy
actuators, right?
at
should
about
work.
T plus 18 minutes and 20
This is the Pez
seconds,
dispenser.
So should be only
We're
about 30
looking
seconds.
up.
So one step
up
closer.
towards
Hal
the Pez.
listened
Oh,
this
here we
time. He
go.
cooperated. He opened
Wow.
the payload door for us.
Great. Yeah, we've just got some
There's a
chain
kind of behind the Pez
mechanism
here
which will
looking
just like
out
slowly
into the
deploy it
vacuum
out.
of
Not
space.
it won't be fast. It won't shoot it out. I think it'll just be a
15
slow,
seconds until
gentle.
payload deploy.
You know, probably like a meter per second, half a meter a second or something. I don't know. Come on, don't lose the feed. Come on.
Ship has transitioned to payload deploy.
Great. Heck, awesome shot. So you can see the door open in the background there. What? Did I see something move? Did I see the chain move? No? Or was that the stuttering of the camera? Come on. You can do it. Yeah. Okay, it's moving. It moved. And chain. Chain is moving. Chain is moving. They are deploying. They're
There we
deploying.
go.
There you go. Oh, they're back on track. As long as there's nothing gets jammed. Did I jinx it? Did I jinx it? No, it's coming back. Let's deploy one of them. What, it lowers down for the next one? No.
Been waiting way too long to do that. There we go.
Here we go. Yeah, it's taken them 10 flights. They're finally deploying. These are just dummies. They're not real Starlink, but they're the same form factor and maybe the same weight. Oh, there. Look at that. It's tumbling off. Oh, that's great. Oh, it hit the Pez. It hit the Pez dispenser thing. I think it hit it.
Moment as you can hear the energy
It
in
was-
both Hawthorne and Starbase. Everyone's super excited for
How's the back?
finally
Oh,
getting
it's
to
okay.
deploy some of those simulated satellites.
Still not back at the gym though.
Pez system moving down. Next
Wow.
row. There we
Pez
go.
dispenser is working.
As we said, we're going to do about one every minute or so.
One every minute.
And this is just kind of a dress rehearsal for when we're going to be deploying the V3 satellites, and these are just
Wow.
a massive,
Yeah, they're a
massive
beast.
increase to Starlink's capability. Each one of them has
Why does that camera
it's
keep
60 terabits per second of capacity.
60
that's gonna
terabits
get
per
added
second
to the
capacity?
network per launch. That's
Damn.
20
Oh,
times more
per launch. I was
than
going to
what
say.
we're adding with every single Falcon 9 launch today.
Wow.
You know, step
Now,
increase
I'm
in
sure. Was it
There it
my
is.
imagination, or did it actually hit the? Yeah, it goes out. Hang on. What? Oh, yeah. No, you just didn't see it. Maybe I was wrong about it hitting the door. Who else thought it hit the rim of the door and then
we've got 8 total that we're going to go through today. It's about a minute for each one, but looking good on payload deploy.
No, they're just, this is just a complete simulation. Look at that. Look at that. And boom. Wow. Wow. No, these are just dummies. They're just weights. Well, they've probably got some telemetry in them just to see if they, you know, I don't know, something. But they are not the actual satellites. These are just simulators, and they will not go into orbit because they're not in an orbital trajectory. So these will just splash down into the ocean just like Starship will. These are not going to orbit because they are not in an orbital trajectory. They are in a suborbital. So these dummy simulators will just burn up. 2 per layer, and second one did hit the opening on exit. The first one did not. Thank you, Caps Lock. Right.
All right, so
interesting.
They'll
learn from that.
When we actually start launching the V3 Starlinks on
it's
Starship,
very temporary space junk. It'll burn up in like 30 minutes.
About an hour to get through a full stack, but again,
an hour to get through a full stack.
Massive increase.
Wow, look at this. This is working.
Gigabit upload.
But once again, this has absolutely nothing to do with the NASA Human Landing System contract. This has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
they're just
absolutely.
testing
Always
for their
getting us
own
that
means.
data,
So they're, you know.
And yeah,
so
the amazing
maybe
views we
NASA's
have
not.
on the vehicle today.
It's hard to know where the funding goes and how it's spent and all that sort of
views
stuff.
brought
But
to you by Starlink.
this is not helping the
deploying
human
Starlink
landing
simulators
system.
Before we deploy actual Starlinks.
But that's the problem. With Starship was a jack of all trades. It was not designed. Look at that. Wow. Great. Jack of all trades, masters of none. Even though they were contracted for the human landing system, I have not seen a single photo of anything related to the human landing system Starship, which is the one with the human occupants, and that's supposed to land on the moon. So I reckon they're going to deploy all these. It's working great. And Starship's not just going to suddenly blow up because there's no engines running at the moment. It's just in a suborbital ballistic trajectory. So yeah, anyway, hats off to them. They're doing it. What is their dimensions? Oh, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know, no, it's 9 meters across. The Starship is 9 meters across, so they're probably what, 6 meters across or something like that. And then the solar panels will deploy if they use the real satellites. They won't on these. But
all right, looks like we've got one left.
I love how it just. There you go. Imagine if you were on the design team for the Pez dispenser, and it's just like
so 7 of the
you've had 10 flights now, and
go.
Well, I don't think they've tried to do the
And
Pez
then we
dispenser
will
on all
lead our
flights,
first
but
ever payload
like
deploy
at least like
operation.
half a dozen flights maybe.
Just a
And
reminder,
Starship just
we're
keeps
on a
blowing up.
suborbital
Bloody
trajectory.
hell!
These
Can't test my
satellites
Pez
on
dispenser.
that exact same suborbital trajectory, they're going to burn up.
That's all the Pez dispenser
entirely.
design team care
They're
about.
on that same trajectory towards the
Is actually being able to do it. Yeah,
The
they're
last
actually.
one has been deployed.
Yeah, they're going nuts. Going nuts.
Starlink simulator payload complete. Heck yeah,
A lot of
everybody.
them.
Leveling the energy from Starbase and Hawthorne.
And they're all gonski. They're all gonski. Look at that. Are they going to close the pod
now
bay
it's
doors?
empty.
How?
Looking a little
Now
lonely,
they have to close it.
but
Because it won't survive re-entry, will it, with an open door?
Satellites.
really, really cool to
Wow,
see
they did
them
it.
all out there.
Yeah,
Again,
let's go for
people that
re-entry and
have followed
landing.
know Starlink's
Do they
really
get overtime for
critical,
that? I don't think you get paid
for
overtime.
the Starship program.
SpaceX?
In addition to
Do you?
Getting all those
I don't think
views back
so.
from the cameras
I think
on
it's-
Starship, which
Yeah,
this is
you
an
are committed to the
external view.
cause,
As I said, it's
as
dark
they
outside
say.
right now. The lights are off, so it's going to be hard to make stuff
Domino's
out. but
Pizza should
in a little
sponsor
while,
it,
the
yeah.
sun's going to start coming up as we get to re-entry, which is going to be really critical. We
They're
use
cheering.
Starlink
Yay,
for
my last 3
Starship
months of
data.
work is now on
Cameras
the way to
also use
re-entry
it
in 15 minutes.
on
Yeah.
the cameras that we used to
Yeah, but
use
huge progress. That's
launches, and
big
also
progress.
hopefully of the
So I'm
we'll see when we get to
now
the Indian Ocean today.
probably
And that's just kind of
85%
how
confident.
It all comes together. Like we're using Starlink
Well, no,
on the
I
planet,
shouldn't
off
be
the
that
planet.
high because they've
And
got the
with
test
Starship,
tiles.
We actually get a pretty
They're missing
insane,
tiles.
If you're in the space industry, you know bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our
120
high
megabits.
definition video and real-time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including reentry. So it's not just giving us views of reentry, but we're getting
Dan's
all of that
good.
engineering
I
data
like
in real
Dan.
time
He's
through
always
phases
very
that it used to be
knowledgeable. He's not just the
impossible to get
presenter.
that
He's
in real
on the
time.
design
So
team, I
just really
believe. He's on one of the.
Yeah, Starlink
project
definitely
teams.
affords us all this capability.
He's one of the project guys.
And reminder, it's the world's
I
largest
don't know what she
satellite
is. She's new.
constellation operating in low Earth orbit
But
to
I think
deliver
they're all
high-speed,
engineers
low-latency
working on
broadband
it.
internet. This provides internet access to people all around the
Close the
world,
doors.
many of
Getting
whom
cold.
had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets
Here
with
comes
over
the
6
scripted
million
spiel.
active customers and counting. To meet the growing global demand
Oh,
for
how many
high-speed
customers was
internet,
that?
SpaceX expanded
Like
its
5
factory
million,
in
4
Bastrop,
million, last I
Texas,
heard.
and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded
No,
version
they are not
of
trying.
the
Well,
Starlink
it's a
standard.
controlled landing,
All
a
right,
controlled
now
water
with
landing. So
payload
yes, they are
deployed
trying for the landing,
complete,
but not on
Starship
the.
is now
You saw
gonna
that
close
the
its
booster
payload bay
successfully
door
landed.
and continue
No
to
problem.
coast towards Earth, around Earth, towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry, I'm really
Yes.
excited today. We are in space, people. Still
And
a lot
it'll
of
be
major
off
events to
the
come, though.
coast
We
of
are looking
Australia,
to
off
relight
the
one of those
coast of
Raptor
Western
engines
Australia.
at about 37 minutes, 33 seconds
Is
into
where
the
it
flight,
splashes down.
followed by atmosphere.
So hopefully we'll get footage of it because they know exactly where it's going to land. So they have a boy there with a camera,
break, take
and
a quick coast.
hopefully
Sit
we'll
back,
get some
enjoy the
views.
views. A little bit dark now, but
I
they'll
don't know if
better
we'll get
soon.
live views or
Couple
we'll
of
get them
space
later,
jams.
but
We'll be back in just a few minutes for that Raptor relight and then re-entry. See you soon.
let's go to an ad break. No. Oh, is it closed? Is the door closed? The door success? No. Yes. Did the door? Is that the door successfully closed? Right? They didn't show that. Am I imagining that, or did they? Or did the door close? Can someone confirm? Yeah. Would I consider using Starlink? I definitely would if I had a need for it, but I don't have a need. I've got fiber coming straight there, fiber through the roof there into my box. And at home, I don't have fiber, but I've got coax. I've got old school coax. But yeah, we just don't need it. But no, if I had a need for it, yes, I would have Starlink. I have actually used it at a house that I stayed at in the middle of the sticks, which didn't have, otherwise would not have had internet. And it worked fine. I streamed with it, no problems. Shame there were no exterior views. Yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah. Yep. Yes. The door is closed. Yeah. The door successfully closed. Yep, it closed. I don't know if they would repressurize. Maybe. Maybe they do. Or semi-pressurize. Maybe they don't fully pressurize it, as somebody said before. They might partially pressurize just to, you know, for stresses and whatnot. Splashes down the same area that the MH370. Starlink has a new $5 a month plan. Yeah, for 500 kbits per second. Very interesting for niche projects. Yes, true. Yeah. If you got some remote sensor out in the middle of the whoop whoop or something. Yeah, it's great. That's a smart move. That's a real smart move. Is to totally limit the bandwidth. Like 500 kbits per second is plenty for even like you can do a low resolution video stream with that even. I used to have a webcam up there in the lab, and that was only, I think we lowered that to 500 kbits. I think it was very low, but you know, you could still, yeah. Heavy rains will cause interruption. Okay, not surprising. Anyway, they technically you're a customer. You used to use Starlink for about 2 years, but switched to a high-speed internet. I pay $5 a month. Oh, to keep your account active. Okay, you can keep your right. What? So you can't just cancel your account and come back? It's odd, but yeah, that's a smart move. For people who just need a low bit rate, it's great. Bargain. GPS sized antenna would be a game changer. Yeah, you won't get a GPS sized antenna, though, unfortunately. But CIF video rolling, yeah. Hi from Austria, not Australia. So yes, this is it's working. So I'm okay. Confidence. I said 80% confident. Maybe I shouldn't go that high, but I'm pretty it's more than a 50-50 that it's going to do this. Because I know that they deliberately left tiles off, so there's a risk there. And they've got other test tiles on it too, I think. But they wouldn't have done that without at least some margin, at least some design margin there, thinking that it could make it. They wouldn't do that if it was like, oh yeah, we're pretty sure it's going to fail. Like the whole ship's just going to break apart. They're so, you know, yeah, maybe 80% odds, but they've got to relight that vacuum engine. They're going to test relight that. They've done that once before, I believe, but they're going to redo that again. But yeah, there's nothing to go wrong at the moment until they start doing engines and stuff. Well, low risk of anything going wrong at the moment. But that Pez dispenser worked great. So yay, the Pez dispenser team. Which is basically a bunch of mechanical engineers, really, because it's just like pulleys and actuators and stuff like that. Chains. When does the re-entry start? They were going to relight in a few minutes. They said they were going away for a few minutes. They were going to relight, but I don't know, maybe another 15 minutes or something. I don't know if this is just stays centered, this bar graph stays centered or not. But anyway, you can see that Starship. You can see the it is not tumbling or rolling or anything like that. So unless something explodes, it's going to continue fine, and then they're going to relight the engine, which should work because they've done that before. That's fairly low risk. About 15 minutes for the re-entry. Yeah, I think they'll launch real Starlinks next time. Yeah, I think that because they've already finished. I'm pretty sure they've already finished the design for the Gen 3 Starlink. I think they'll launch them. Well, they have to go to orbit to launch them. So they have to go to orbit. But if this one works perfect, if this thing soft touches down and nothing looks bad on the like on the heat tiles and stuff like that, then they might go for orbit next time. But then again, no, because this is the Block 2. This is the Block 2 Starship. So they've got the Block 3 coming. So they might want to do one test flight, suborbital test flight of the Block 3, I would imagine. So, because there's apparently it's quite significantly different. So yeah, this one's like, yeah, Block 2 finally worked. So they probably won't test Block 2 again. Why even risk it? Just, yeah, it finally worked. They'd be pretty happy to get to this stage. So if it fails on re-entry, if it burns up on re-entry, they're going to go with, they'll still be reasonably happy with that. And they'll go, well, we were experimenting with the tiles. There were tiles missing, blah, 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 blah. You know. You have second gen dish and modems. Second gen has motors to position, position the dish to best possible reception. Yeah. Yeah, Gen 3 satellite. Yeah. Well, are they expensive? They're not expensive in the scheme of things. That's a data center's worth of kit in a full stack. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes, if you add them all up, yes. But the individual satellites are probably only a couple of $100,000 each. They're churning them out with incredible efficiency and low cost. So, yep. Am I going to get demonetized for the video? Yeah, the heat shield is still the major hurdle. Yeah, I mean, they did lose one of the Raptor engines on the booster, but man, that is such a great track record that's not a problem at all. They'll probably want to get that back to inspect it, maybe. Did you see? No, I did not see the demo video of the laser thing. The best money taxpayers can spend. Yeah, I'm not sure if any taxpayer money is directly going on this flight. It's hard to know because this has nothing to do with the human. Well, it's not that it has nothing to do with the human landing system, but the Pez dispenser has nothing to do with it. They're just doing it for their own purposes, for their own private commercial reasons. So,
All
yep.
right, welcome back, everybody. If you're
We're
just
back.
joining us,
We've got
Starship just
793
successfully
people
deployed
watching.
its first ever payload. We got 8 of those Starlink simulators out, and now we are expecting the relight of a single Raptor engine. That should
Well,
be
give us
coming
the
up
engine view back.
just a little under a minute.
A
We'll
minute?
be
Come on.
lighting
Well,
just
give us the
one
view.
of those Raptor sea levels in the middle there. This is not a deorbit burn. It's a demonstration of what we'll have to do for deorbit burns, but we've done this once before. This is something we're really going to have to do when we're doing orbital missions, so it's a pretty critical test.
You can see it tracking
We
over
are
Africa there.
just a couple seconds away. Sorry, we're about 20
Come
seconds
on.
away, psych. So we got a
20
little bit
seconds.
more time. So
Give us
we
the
are going
engine
to see one of those
view.
Raptor engines light back up. We are through the
There we go.
deorbit demo
There we go.
gate, so we should be seeing it momentarily.
They're going to relight one of them.
Relight demo startup.
There you go. Boom. It's
and
on.
Shut down.
And shut down. That's all they wanted to do. Yeah, because they didn't want to make it tumble or do anything weird.
All right, looks like we confirmed the relight of one of those
Nice.
Center Raptor engines.
Not
Second
really
time
surprising.
We've done that. Super exciting.
Phenomenal.
Huge
Yeah, they've done it
congrats
once
to the team
before.
on this
Yep.
milestone. Very exciting to see.
That was a cool light show. Yeah, I get to do a mini version here. So again, that's going to be really critical for when we're doing deorbit burns. Like as you're going through, which if you don't have one of these,
Yep.
my God, they're so much fun. But like you're able to actually like light. Oh, man, Dan, turn it on. Light that engine.
Oh, cool.
Not set my co-host on fire. And that's what we'll eventually do to, break out of orbit,
It's a little
come back
butane
down
lighter.
to Earth. So really cool to see one of those engines light back up again in space. That was our last in-space thing.
Very exciting. We're going to be heading back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. So we're going to take another quick break, and we will see you soon.
Yeah, the laser tracking of other satellites or whatever. Yeah, so you can laser comms satellite to satellite. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing. I haven't seen a demo video of it. Yes, there's the Artemis contract for a Moonlander Starship. Yes, there is. Has anyone ever seen a photo of the Moonlander Starship? Haven't seen it. Haven't seen anything. Yeah, Starship's been flawless so far. Wow. Yeah, they finally got it. They finally got it. They'll be very happy. Like I said, if it burns up on re-entry, they won't be devastated. They'll go, oh, shit, that sucks. But no, they deployed their satellite. Like, they've been up before, and the Pez and the door wouldn't open. Is that once or twice or something? And it's like, and the thing's blowing up in space. It's just, it's nuts, but it's working. It's working flawlessly, and they relit the Raptor engine. That was almost guaranteed to work, really, but they wanted to do that because relighting an engine in space is tricky. Yeah, turbo pump ignition.
Starship is slowing for entry.
They released pictures of the inner frame of it as they were testing the moon suits. Okay, yeah, but wasn't it just some silly mock-up, and that was ages ago? Didn't Apollo get to the moon in quicker time? What are you talking about? You're talking about project time. It is tilting up now. Yeah, look. Yeah, they're not racing the Ruskies this time. Because for those who don't remember, Apollo 8, the famous Apollo 8 flight that went around the moon, that was the first time humans truly left Earth. Is they broke the bounds of the Earth. In Apollo 8. Apollo 8 was supposed to stay in orbit. Was another test flight in orbit, but the spies got wind that the Ruskies were going to send a cosmonaut around the moon, going to slingshot a cosmonaut around the moon in a Zond capsule, and they went, "Ooh, geez, they can't let us beat us yet again," because up to that point they had done the first everything. They had been beaten first to everything. They go, "Oh, we can't let them beat us to actually fling a man around the moon."
Entry interface.
So they decided, well, can we do Apollo 8? At kind of like the last minute. And they went, oh, no reason why we can't. It's a bit risky. And they went, go for it. So Apollo 8 was, the first time humans left Earth. So, yep. Because orbit is, you're leaving the surface, but you're still staying, you're still within the bounds of Earth's gravity. So that's the first time we left Apollo 8. It was not designed to do that. So they accelerated that forward, and it worked fine. Yes, they were going to cram They were scared they were going to cram an actual cosmonaut inside a Zond capsule, which is basically like you can barely fit. It's like an old Gemini capsule, like you're spamming a can. The Apollo program all up had like 400,000 people work on it, with all the various contractors and everything else. There were like, I do believe it was like 400,000 people played some part in the Apollo program, or the entire space program. Yeah. Apollo needed Redstone, Mercury, and Gemini to succeed before it could work. Yeah. Yep. Over Madagascar. Yes, we are over Madagascar. You can see that. Your dad worked on it, Arthur. Cool. Is it re-entering already? No, it's not re-entering yet. What's that thing flapping around in the breeze there? Check it out. It's interesting. What is that? Oh, here we go. The wing's moving. So maybe they are starting the... Well, it is belly up now. It is, facing, belly facing. Time to roast this thing, yep. It's seriously damaged on the right bottom of the wing. Where? There's no damage. Are you talking about some other wing? It's an alien squid, a xenomorph. Yeah, Apollo 8, yeah. That's Apollo 8's probably the highlight for me of the Apollo program.
All right, so
it was just so gutsy.
We are back. We are about 45 minutes into the
10th Apollo
flight
11
test
landed on the moon, but
Starship.
Apollo 10 did the dress rehearsal.
You can see the
I've
light
met
show
Gene
has started
Cernan,
the
who was on
entry
Apollo
has
10. He
begun.
piloted that
starting
thing to within like
re-enter
5 or 10
the Earth's
Ks of the
atmosphere.
surface.
We're moving
And then just,
about
you
5
can see
times
it.
the
I can
speed of
almost touch
sound,
it.
And we're about to start barreling through the Earth's atmosphere and head for a splashdown
Yep.
in the Indian Ocean.
All right.
We don't plan to recover the spacecraft today. But if we do make it all the way down,
they're not
going
to recover it.
Who knows?
All right.
But the goal of this part of the flight is to learn as much as we can about the ship's heat shield. A fully reusable, rapidly reusable heat shield for a spacecraft has never been done
why they've
before.
got
It's
test
one of
tiles on the
hardest
underside
challenges
of that
still
wing,
out there
because that's
for
not
us.
the
And so this is
that
the time
that is
to
not the
really dig
flamey
in and
side.
get that data.
Yeah,
Or it
absolutely.
shouldn't be.
And re-entry
Otherwise
is
there's
a
going to be
critical
nothing left
phase
of that
flight,
wing.
So we'll need information on how the ship's system end up performing. And Starlink will also help us gather as much data as possible, which is really the main reason why we do these flight tests. Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data.
I was up
to help us
watching the
rapidly iterate
season
on
4
Starship's
of
design.
For
And
All
if the ship
Mankind
manages
last
to
night.
make it all the way to re-entry,
Season
we'll
4,
collect
that's it.
valuable data on the
It's very cool
spacecraft
so
flying
far.
through the Earth's
I'm
atmosphere
liking
at
it.
hypersonic speeds, or more than
Asteroid
5
mining.
times the speed
It's
of
great.
sound.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
throughout history, a lot of times this is
Several
when
years old
you
now.
go into just
I'm only
a
just
complete
catching up.
data and insight blackout, where that plasma sheath builds up around the outside of the spacecraft. That
Yeah,
blocks
amazing
all of your
that they can
signals
get
that are
comms
trying to fight
through
to talk to
Starlink with
either
all the
satellites
plasma.
out in space or
just
towers
crazy.
down on the ground. Starship's big size kind of gives us awake, but what really helps us punch through is the fact that we're using
Alright.
Starlink.
Come on,
we're
whoa.
operating at just a much higher frequency. That's not what we want to see. So we just saw some of the aft skirt just take a hit.
Whoa! Something exploded.
Got some visible damage on the aft skirt. We're
Damn.
continue to re-enter though. And again, we are
happened
intentionally
there?
stressing the ship.
It just like
as we
Boomski.
go through
Yeah.
this. So it is not
Something
guaranteed
exploded.
to be a smooth ride.
Wasn't the engine.
Down to
It was
the
some
Indian Ocean. We've removed
pipe
a
or
bunch
some
of
other
tiles
tank?
in kind of critical places across the vehicle.
It's still
So
operational.
Seeing stuff like that is still valuable.
Dan didn't
to
seem
us.
that
We are
concerned.
trying to kind of push this vehicle to the limits to learn what its limits are as we design our next version of Starship. So 47 minutes, 45
Yeah, the cameras can't
seconds
see the
into
tiles on
flight.
the
Excitement
flamey
picking
side,
up
yeah.
a little bit on re-entry already.
You can
but
see the
light
tiles
shows
wrapping around the
continue.
edge there.
This re-entry is going to take about 20
Whoa.
minutes or so. Until
15
our planned
minutes.
splashdown. We were trying to splash down about 1 hour and 6 minutes into the flight.
1 hour and 6. Okay, yep. All right.
Yeah, and one day,
For those
Starship
who
is
want a
designed
bathroom
to
break,
land on
come back
Mars,
in an hour
where
and
there
6.
are obviously no runways or other humans to help us out. So we
All
are
right.
doing propulsive landing instead of more traditional means such as parachutes. And propulsive landing enables us to have more
Wow,
rapid
look at that.
reusability with these vehicles.
That's it. Whoa. Little
Yeah,
bits.
the ship itself, it's
Little
a
bits flying
little
off
over
there. That's
50 meters
amazing shot.
tall. We've got those 6 engines on
Oh
board,
yeah,
the
that's
3
Ernie
vacuum,
Bernie. That's
3 sea
liquid
level,
metal.
and they're down in that aft skirt
85
region,
kilometers,
which
flaps have control.
Flaps have control.
all right. So at this point, the
Whoa,
flaps
she's not
have
tumbling.
control.
That
means we're
explosion
getting
didn't
into
do
a dense
anything
enough
to
part of
its
the atmosphere
orientation
that
or
the
anything.
flaps can start controlling us. We're not
But
only
like, you can
reliant
see that
on those
that
kind of
inside shot
reaction
was
control
hilarious.
system thrusters.
It's just this whole panel just
We're going
like
to continue
flapping
hearing
off.
some call-outs as the ship
Wow.
makes its way back to Earth. So
Wow.
when we hear entry max heating and entry max Q,
Looks like they were going to
that will
put some
mean
more
the ship
tiles
has
on
made it
there,
through
but they
the
didn't because
maximum
they mounted
heating
on the
and
studs.
aerodynamic loads it will experience
Oh
as
yeah,
it
look.
returns.
Yeah,
So
the back end of
racing
that
through
fin. Is that what
those,
someone was
I'd
talking
say we're
about?
doing pretty
Yeah,
well.
damage.
I will say I'm happy.
Did you see that?
Re-entry cleaned off this camera for us. It was a little dirty from the weather, so thank you, Plasma, for giving us this view as we start coming down.
The lens got cleaned by the plasma. Wow, there's a lot of
The hit we
that's
saw
metal
to
burning off,
the
right?
skirt, definitely interesting. I will note when we started doing these missing tile tests,
Ugh.
we were intentionally removing them only in the skirt, as that's, you know, that's not over your fuel tanks or anything else that's kind of structurally critical for keeping the entire
Right.
vehicle together. That obviously exposes your engines, so that could do some things for our landing.
But we've
turn,
seen this thing
but for now, we are
remarkably still
obviously
work,
continuing
even though
with
like
this
half
re-entry. We
half
are
the
committed, Indian
flap was
Ocean. Here
missing,
we come.
burnt away.
50
It
minutes
was like,
since launch.
whoa.
We're going to see those
Whoa, look
colors
at that.
start to build up a little bit. We are at the point where we're in dense enough atmosphere that the flaps have control.
So there's enough air that the flaps are
About
doing their
74
flappy thing.
kilometers in altitude.
Whoa.
And you were starting to see some sunlight, so we
So that one's
intentionally
fine. We
timed
must have
these
seen the
launches
other
right now.
flap because I'm
So
sure
we
it had
have
some damage
daylight. The sun
around
should actually
just
come
under
up over
the
the horizon on
shut down
Starship
there.
in about 3 minutes. So as we get a little bit further into this reentry, that inky black below you is going to start to look like clouds and hopefully a bright
Like, it's
blue
got to do
ocean
this for like at
as we
least
make our
another
way
10
down onto
minutes.
the other
Yeah,
side
for
of
like
the
10,
planet.
15 minutes. This is nuts. Yeah, look. Wow, giant. Oh, sorry.
We've got
My
these
head's-
cameras.
head's
These
in the
cameras
way.
are really cool. We added
Look at that.
these
Look at that.
several flights ago.
Look, oh,
looking
flapping in the
directly at
breeze.
flaps
Look at that.
as not just the heat shield, but these flaps, how they're able to control the
Oh my
vehicle,
God,
the
look at that.
stand,
It's just peeled off.
that re-entry, the seal locations,
Oh.
where they connect
And
to
that-
the ship itself
that's
are
just
some of the most
gigantic
critical.
chunk taken away.
We will do missing tiles on those where, again, we're trying
Wow.
to...
Yeah, I'm not
we're-
sure what these
we're trying to
tiles
be
are
mean
telling
to
them.
the Starship
They're
a
getting
little bit.
data
We're-
from
we're
those.
really
Probably got
trying to
sensors
put
in
it
them.
through the paces and kind of poke on what some of its weak points are. I mean, we even have missing tiles over some of those fuel tank sections
And
of
there
the
we
ship
go.
itself. And
Flapping in the
we're-
breeze.
We're really trying to see
I'll
what
take
are
the
our
chat off for a
limits.
sec.
We're doing this over
So you can see
completely
that.
empty area over the Earth.
Wow. Wow, yeah, just blasted that out. They'll already know exactly
Our
what
Raptors
caused that,
there.
I
We
think.
are assuming we make it all the way down to the ocean in one piece. We will attempt to flip and a
There's
landing
pipe
burn.
or some other tank or something behind there
We
and just went...
do have at least one buoy.
Yes, they
Everybody's
do have
favorite
one.
camera person
At
out
least.
in the Indian Ocean right now, being powered by Starlink.
They're not sure how many they
So
have.
That's at our planned landing location. So
Need
if
some duct
we're
tape.
able to get any live views of the ship, that'll essentially tell you that we nailed our target. Able to do that on our 6 flight tests. Do it in the daytime, which was really
Right.
exciting.
Yeah, we've seen this thing soft touchdown, and it's soft touchdown with half the bloody flap melted off. It was incredible.
All right, so we're about 10 minutes until we're probably going to start hearing some of the other big milestones coming up.
It's got to handle
In
this
about
abuse
10
for another
minutes,
10
Dan
minutes.
said, Starship will be transonic. This is going to be the period of flight
This
where
is
the
nuts.
velocities of airflow
Yeah, still
surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are
23,800
concurrently
kilometers an
below,
hour.
at and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach
Crazy.
0.8 to 1.2.
67 kilometers up.
For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most of them fly at speeds between Mach 0.74 and Mach 0.85. So that's 480 to 575 miles per hour or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour.
And for those who don't know,
And after transonic
Starship
comes subsonic. That
is
just
not
means you're
designed
slower than
and
the
will
speed of
never
sound. We're still well in excess of
launch
that right
with
now.
or
But by the
return
time we hit
with
subsonic,
passengers in it.
We're essentially
It is
belly
not
flopping
designed for
down.
that.
There we go. There's that
It's not
sunlight.
designed for that.
So we're
It
seeing
is
the Earth
designed.
now come
There will
back
be one
into
variant
view.
of it, which will be the
One of
human
the other
landing
things we're
system,
doing
which will
during
land
this,
on the
you're gonna
moon.
see Starship kind
but
of
that's
pitch,
it.
in some pretty
eventually, if
not
they do the
extreme
Mars
ways,
thing.
but a little extreme, as we're
are
trying to
not
really
high.
stress
Oh,
the structure
that
of it, of the ship itself, specifically those
That-
aft flaps.
that flap's looking
So
good.
the ones in the very bottom of the
That
vehicle.
flap is very good. That's
we're
holding
we're
well.
pushing not just
There's
how well
nothing
does the heat
sneaking
shield hold
through
up,
the
but how
gaps
well does
here
the
or
ship's
anything.
Structure hold
It's
up.
really nice.
We
The
are-
orientation's
we are
good.
pushing it beyond essentially what we think we'll have
It's
to
doing well.
fly
So as
at
long as that other
to
flap
do
holds,
something like a return to launch site. So again, may not be a very smooth
wow.
ride downhill.
See the clouds now?
But we're doing that by design. We're really trying to find what are the edges that we can operate at, build up a good data set. But sun is
Or
up,
is that
clouds
flap getting
and
less?
water down below us. We are
Can't
just
imagine that
about
flap's
10
getting
minutes,
any
a little
less
less than 10 minutes now until we
abuse
start
than the
hitting
other one.
transonic and then subsonic. Once we hit subsonic, we're basically just belly flopping.
So was that explosion the thing that caused the chunk to come out of the flap? Does anyone have any knowledge of that? Oh yeah, you can see the Pez dispenser door. Yeah. There it is. Why didn't they use that camera shot to see them coming out? Maybe they have it. I'm sure there's no way you wouldn't have those cameras streaming during the Pez. Yeah, that's the door. That's the Pez dispenser door. Nice. Yeah. That chunk was missing before the explosion. Okay, thank you.
All right, so about
Before the skirt
55
failed,
and a half
okay.
minutes in, you can see the sun is up. Again, we intentionally designed these
Quite a
flights
few people have confirmed
to
that.
lift
Okay.
off in the evening
explosion
here, so
did
we
not
get these daylight views
cause
so we
the
can
flap
get
problem.
as good a video as possible.
Well,
on
she
the
ain't
ship,
tumbling.
assuming we make it all the way down.
It is
We've got at least one
perfect
buoy
orientation.
powered by Starlink that's out there in the landing zone in the Indian
Okay,
Ocean.
so we do have
hopefully
one
giving us a
buoy.
view again. If you see any
Boy.
live views, not from the ship itself, that means we nailed our landing target.
Starship is past peak heating.
Past peak heating. Okay,
Right,
so
we
it gets
just heard
better
the
from
call out
here.
that we're past peak heating,
Nice.
so things are looking good so
Anyway,
far.
20,000
Looking
k's an hour, 61 kilometers up.
And at this
It looks
point,
like they're
again,
gonna
the,
do
the
it.
flaps are
Looks like
controlling,
they're gonna
so
do
this
it.
movement you're seeing is
If they're
that
past
forward
peak
flap,
heating, that's
moving
important.
to try and just maintain control, maintain attitude of the vehicle as we're coming down.
I mean, it's still Ernie Bernie, still very Ernie Bernie, but it won't get any worse. Temperatures will only decrease. Wow, what a shot. They're just continuing to get this shot through all that plasma and crap, going to the Starlink. It's incredible. Man. Not the flaps, that's what she said.
Checking in on one of our flaps.
Yeah, it's really good news,
Got
I
one of
agree.
these cameras on all four of the flaps, two in the front,
Is
two in
anything
the
left
back,
from the injured
giving
flap?
us
I don't know. They're not showing it.
really good close.
Oh, there it is. Is that was that the injured
As
flap?
we obviously don't have a camera that can see the entire heat shield. These give us kind of the best that we can do.
I think it's going to make it.
But looking at those flaps is really, those are just, super critical.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
controlling
It's
the
always
ship.
the flaps, yeah.
You
But they
have
need the
some
flaps.
ability to maneuver kind of cross range. So as you're
Yeah,
as you're
it's
coming
amazing.
in,
Starship
you
is so big it
see-
leaves a big
you
enough
can see
hole in the
that
plasma to let the signal
that
out.
indicator
It's
at the
just
very bottom
incredible.
right,
It's
that we
incredible
pitched
that we're
quite
getting
a
like
bit.
HD
So again,
streaming
we
from
are-
this.
We are maximally stressing those aft flaps right now.
Look at that. Look at that. But yeah, you can see
We
it's
got a
not as
little
bad
bit
as
of
it was
burn
before.
through
Like even this thing has stopped
very
flapping around
bottom
in the
part of
breeze.
it.
And it's not as hot as it was before. So temperature's
Everything's
going
still
down.
looking good,
So
just
it's
maintaining
going to
control.
hold on. I think it's going to be fine. I think this thing's going to do it.
We should be just about 5 minutes away until we hear that we're transonic.
Okay. Come on. You can do it. The test tiles, which are doing something. Look at that. Look at that. Melty, melty. It's still melting away. Oh, another bit's got to go. It's not. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. There it goes. Whoa, look at that. Oh, whoa. That just. Oh, that was the camera moving.
Toasty on the
Was it?
aft skirt of the vehicle as we continue coming in.
It's still holding. It's still holding, and the temperatures are only going to
And
get
we
lower.
are
So.
intentionally stressing the flaps so we can learn all we can.
Oh, they're intentionally stressing them. Right. They're going for broke. They're getting as much data as
So
they
now
can.
we're
They're going,
already
yeah,
well
we're going to
past
stress
peak
this bugger.
heating.
That would have been a call they just made. That wouldn't have been a plan. That would have been, well, if we're getting this,
About
let's
48,
stress it to see
49,
how far we can
counting
take
down
it.
to 48 kilometers in altitude.
Yeah, testament to how
Especially
well
that
engineered those
transonic
flaps are. Yeah, it's
to
incredible.
come. So
As I said,
transitioning
we've seen it
between
land
the speed of sound
accurately, within
subsonic
centimeters,
slower than the speed of sound
with a half a flap
in
missing.
just a little under 4 minutes from now.
Yeah, they don't
Right
plan
now,
on
we've got
recovering
kind of
this.
a lot of
So
forward momentum, a
yeah,
lot
so
of
they're getting
forward
all the data
velocity.
they can now because they're
But
getting
then eventually, by the
great.
time we hit
They're getting
subsonic,
awesome telemetry, so they're getting full data and
here
video.
we go. So this
and
is what we've been talking about, where we are going to essentially try to fully deploy those aft flaps and really stress them out. So again,
right, they're going to
this is
fully.
meant to
Well,
test
there we
the
go. Whoop.
extremes for the vehicle.
Here, yeah, it's completely flat. Oh, yeah, moving it. Yeah, someone's with the joystick in mission control, having fun. Look at that.
All
It's
right.
just. Oh, wow. They are really
See those
testing
flaps
this thing.
swinging out. But again, we are.
Oh my God, the
putting
old
ship
school
through the
test
ringer
pilots
on
would be
this flight
proud.
end.
They are really. They are doing what's called a controls check in the airline industry. I do believe it's called a controls check. Any pilots out there
We're still
confirm?
maintaining
The controls
control.
check. And a controls check is not something you want to do. If you're on a plane and your captain says, captain announces that we're doing a controls check, Start praying. It means they have no idea what's working, and we're going
their
to
paycheck
stress this
today,
thing right to
getting
the
through
limit
that max stress
and see what control we have. Yeah.
Definitely things looking good so far.
That
We're about
flap
2
is
minutes out
great.
now
Look at
from
that.
Starship
It's not a
becoming
tile missing
One cool
on the
thing
edge.
to note as
at
we
least
get some of those
can't see
views
the
showing
underside,
kinda
but
the whole length of the ship.
wow.
One of the changes we made after Flight 6
Tiles
was
have fallen
to,
off, have they?
change the tile line a little bit. So we had kind of scaled back.
Where
the
did
number
you
of
see the tiles fall off,
significantly,
Rosenbot?
as when we go to catch these ships, you don't want to. I think as Elon said, you don't want to shuck the ship as you catch it and knock all those tiles off. So we knew we were going to have to kind of peel back that layer a little bit. And the first time we did it,
Wow, she's
was
staying
on
in
Flight
control
6, and we
though.
saw
Great shot
kind
of the pod bay
wrinkling
doors.
and
Look
dimples
at that.
almost in the ship as we were
Look at that. We're
creating
getting
these
more
hot
light on the
spots in
video
the
now.
uneven parts
That's
of the
awesome.
heat shield. And so
Wow.
to
They're really nailing
address
this.
that, we smoothed
Apart
it
from
out
that
to
little
where you
mini
got kind of that
explosion.
nice smoothed out
And how
black line
did
now
anyone see
on
how
ship.
did
And
the
just
flap
looking
get
at it, we
damaged?
can see
Did
kind
anyone
of a
notice
little
it during
bit
the
of hot
stream?
spot, a little bit of warping almost near the payload
From the
floor, you
second
can see
row
a
on the
little bit
tiny
colored
side of the
patina
shiny
up
side of
above
the
it,
flap.
but we don't see those kind of deep,
What?
almost.
On the shiny side,
they
no,
almost
that's
look
not.
like gouges.
No, that
on
that
that.
is a
So it
deliberate
looks
thing.
like
That is a
that's
deliberately.
been pretty
That's the
successful,
shiny side of
so-
the flap doesn't matter. That's getting no
We are less
heat at all.
than a minute away from hitting
Oh,
transonic.
sorry. Yeah,
Again,
move my cam.
Pretty
Yep.
soon, our kind of our forward velocity is going to look like it's kind of falling off a cliff, and Starship will look like it's falling off a cliff as we essentially go into our
Wow,
belly. flop.
2,000
If you
kilometers
watch
an hour.
Some of the high altitude tests. of
Wow.
suborbital
Yeah, they're going to
campaigns,
do it. It's
we
it's
were
not going
able
to fail
to
from here. I
test
don't think.
that was
Confidence
pretty
is high. I
fundamental,
repeat,
like,
confidence is high.
can this thing actually fly? And we were able to prove that out with that suborbital campaign, and that's what we're about to see shortly here.
Awesome. Yeah, Starship. We're about three minutes away. Yeah, they're almost subsonic. Yep. Yep. But they're still 25 kilometers up. That's a long way up. But yeah, there's no more. You can see that. I mean, it's still getting hot, but you know, no more glowy. So, but all those tiles. Look, all those tiles are still. No, they aren't tiles, are they?
All right, so
Because
at
they're
this point,
they're not the
we dropped
hexagonal
below
tiles.
The speed of sound, so
No.
Starship itself is subsonic.
I think it's going to do it.
We are starting.
Hopefully,
to
we
chill
get
the
footage from
engines
the
for a
from
landing
the
burn
buoy
attempt.
floating out there, because they know precisely where it's going to land.
Landing
Uh-oh,
flip's
flat Earth
supposed to
debunked.
Start in a little over 2 minutes.
Wow.
Subsonic
Yeah, it's
Indian
going to
Ocean,
do
we're
it.
on our
It's
way.
going to do it.
Starship is subsonic.
There we go.
Deliberately testing. Whoop, whoop. Stay on target.
Farewell,
Stay
space.
on target. Look at that. Look at that. That's a gorgeous shot. Oh my God, look at that flap. It's just, hey, and all those tiles, look. All those tiles around there, they're all in all the tiles
So
on the
coming up
leading
in
edge
just a
there.
little under 2 minutes, so we're going to do the flip and the burn. So we're only using those
Wow,
three
they're all
center
intact.
Raptor engines.
They're
the
all
sea
intact.
levels, the ones that can kind of
Oh yeah, you can see some tiles on the bottom side there. See some tiles on the bottom side.
Down a little bit.
That flap's amazing. Yeah, it's so robust. This is great. Yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Flapping in the breeze.
Two of our engines
No pun
chilled in. We've done
intended.
one more. So again, we'll attempt to use 3 burns.
Yeah, it's
for
great.
that
Yeah,
initial
they're so
flip. We
robust, aren't they?
eventually
Oh,
Go down
what's
to just
that?
2 Raptors for the end of the landing burn.
Is that a tile? That's
Just about 1 minute now
Wow.
from that landing flip and landing burn start.
uh-oh, flat Earth debunked. Although they claim that's the fisheye lens. It is the fisheye lens. I'll give them that. Yeah, it's going to be fine. 400 kilometers an hour, 4.2 kilometers. They're going to do this. It's going through the cloud. So hopefully they'll switch to the camera from the
Structurally, we're
buoy.
looking
I don't know if they'll do that
good. Got
live.
the pressures in our nose cone for everything.
Flight number X is the
30 seconds.
successful one. Well pointed out.
Again, we're going to look for the flip So
Alvin.
Starship's doing its belly flop
lie,
right now.
sorry.
We're going to do the flip. Swing out. Let's punch
You
through
gonna do
some
the flip?
clouds first.
300 k's an hour, 1.7 k's up. They're going to flip it. They're going to flip it. Flippity doo dah.
Here we go.
Starship,
See the water?
Western startup.
Landing burn starting. Engines relight. Come on.
Seeing 3 engines.
Yep. It's flipped. It's flipped. It's flipped.
There's our flip.
They said, oh, look at that. Perfect. Oh, look. They did it.
There's a boost.
Wow. Wow. Look at that footage.
There's a splashdown.
Wow. Wow.
Hey.
Well done. All right. You've got to give it to them. They did it. He's excited. Nerd alert.
Oh,
Nerd
man.
alert.
Yeah, farewell, Ship 37.
Wow,
Thank you,
they did it.
Cam.
They
Landing
did the whole
flip,
thing.
landing burn,
Dan, someone,
splash out the Indian
medic
Ocean.
for
There we
Dan.
go. All right.
I think Dan's about to faint.
that was pretty awesome.
Incredible
This is
flight
cool, right?
today
10 out of
for
10.
both ship and booster.
Yeah, really incredible. So obviously,
No,
we're
a spot on
excited
with the
here.
camera.
Looks
It
like
moved
everybody's
slightly out of
excited
frame
over
there on the buoy, but
Tyler,
that's-
how's it
that's the
going
waves
over
and
in
crap.
Hawthorne?
We
Wow.
are super excited here in Hawthorne. It was another exciting
Yay,
Starship
she's
flight
excited
test
in
in
the
the books,
background.
and we hope you enjoyed those Starlink views. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed enormously to the Starship
Dude with the
program as we
mustache there.
continue to iterate
That's
and
fun.
make progress towards a
Oh, man,
multi-planetary
they
future.
did it.
So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Hawthorne.
Wow.
Thank you to
Yep.
everyone for tuning in today. It was it was great being with you today. Back to you guys.
Wow. They did
That
it.
was absolutely
Holy crap, they
incredible.
needed that to
Huge
go
congrats
well.
to all the teams here.
No one can complain.
Again, we lifted
That's-
off from Starbase, Texas at right
That
at
was
the top of our
98%
window at
successful,
6:30 p.m.
apart from the
Central
little
Time.
explosion there.
We saw a booster successfully lift us up through ascent.
Wow.
Had a successful hot staging where ship continued on with its suborbital trajectory. Booster came back down, had that boost back burn, and a successful landing burn with that
Yeah, that was
unique
awesome.
Next
engine
flight will probably go for
configuration as well.
Starship Catch.
Yeah, and then ship
Don't know. Well,
continued
they're
on
gonna
its
use a new
way,
block.
Made it all the way into space.
A totally
We got
new
to see
block.
First ever payload deploy.
So exciting.
That
Which
was
means
awesome.
a
We got the door
new,
open, 8
totally
Starlink
new
simulators
design. Well,
deployed.
not totally new,
Relit
but
that
a
Raptor
new design
engine,
Starship.
And
So
then on entry, we probably gave it a little bit of extra time in the oven.
Yeah, they
but
got the landing
made it
shot.
all the
It
way
was incredible.
through re-entry.
Yeah.
All 3 engines started up, landing flip, splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Promised maximum excitement. Starship
you
delivered.
think the poor
So,
boy got blown up?
Congratulations, all of
Sacrificial
our
GoPro.
teammates here at SpaceX. It's been a year. Everybody that's worked on this program, this is what we're working for. So big congrats to all of them. Thank you to all of our future customers too for your support.
Yes,
And
there
we'd
was a
also like to
fireball at
thank
the end,
fine
wasn't there?
people of Cameron
But
County,
yeah,
including the
they're not-
residents of its
I don't
newest
think
city,
that's
Starbase,
that's
as well as
anything.
the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration,
Wow.
the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
Be sure to
Yay,
stay tuned
Australian
to
Space
SpaceX
Agency.
on X for updates.
Check
more
it out.
views. This is
Check
just
it
a
out.
tiny amount of the views. We
Oh.
have so many views that we didn't get to feature on the broadcast, so we're going to be going
Australian
through that over the next
Space
couple
Agency
days,
sticker
and
on
we'll
my
be posting
microphone.
it all there.
Yeah,
There
if
it
you're
is.
interested in more launch coverage, head on
Sorry,
over to
that's- sorry, 50 years.
SpaceX.com/launches
50?
for the most
What?
up-to-date information.
Celebrating 50
In fact,
years
we
of the moon
actually
landing,
recently
Australian
rolled out
Space
a new
Agency, but it's
departure
Australian
board
Space
featuring
Agency
our
sticker.
upcoming launches with details like mission name, launch and landing site, and liftoff time.
Wow,
So
yeah,
be sure to
Elon
check it out.
deserves his
All right.
cigar.
We just launched the
Wow.
world's biggest rocket again. Dropped a couple satellites
Wow.
off. Suborbital.
Hit the thumbs up in the
Incredible
chat,
payload deploy
yes.
For today.
Nailed
Wow,
that double
they did
header
it.
into the
Well
ocean,
done,
splashdown.
SpaceX team.
Time to go through the data. Really crazy cool to hit all those
The
objectives.
business
today.
case
Yeah,
is
huge shout out to all the teams who
reusability.
make
Yes,
this look easy.
yes. There's no other
And
business
thanks to all
case.
of you for tuning in, and we will see you back
Yeah.
here for Flight 11. Good night.
They hit the self-destruct at the end. No, I don't believe so. The self-destruct system was disarmed. You heard that like very early in the flight. Great show. No worries. Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. They did it. That is amazing. Wow. So I'll probably go download this and edit, do a quick to get those sweet views. I'll go make a quick edit of this and put it on the second channel, just of the launch and maybe a couple of other key points in that landing. That landing view. Oh, man, I'm so glad they got that. That was incredible. Self-destructed itself when hot metal hit the sea. Yeah, I mean, those engines were still lit as they hit the seawater. So, what the hell does that do? No worries, alive and well. Yeah, shame they didn't get the tower catch. Tower catch is always exciting, but it landed fine. They had one engine failure, so they had one engine out, one of the 33 Raptor engines, which is nothing. But yeah, and that little mini explosion there, they probably already know what part exploded because they know the exact location of that, and boom, straight on camera. That was incredible. And it still survived. So it did that. So that thing, whatever that was, that exploded in the, that exploded out of the engine well, the engine well or whatever it's called, wall, exploded out of there. Whatever the hell that was, didn't affect the mission at all. What the heck? What? It just, the engine's relit, did its flippy thing, and the engine's relit, and it landed precisely, probably within centimeters of where it was supposed to land, because they knew precisely within centimeters of where it was going to land. And the reason that the buoy went out of frame there is just waves just bouncing around. There's only so much you can do. It's only a little floaty buoy, and you've got to make sure it's, camera's pointing in the right direction. So, yep, that just accidentally went out of frame there for a second. But damn, they did it. Yes. Yeah, I don't know about the booster landing shot. I presume that they had a buoy out there to see the booster landing as well, but we didn't see that. We did not see the booster landing, did we? No, I'm pretty sure we didn't. I would have got excited to see that. No, we didn't, but it doesn't mean that we won't see footage of that later. Yeah. You had both me and Thunderfoot going at the same time. Night and day, different perspectives. The NSF guys had footage of it landing and going boom. Oh, really? Okay. They must be getting different feeds because we didn't see that, right? Or am I just not remembering? It's my short-term memory shot. Oh, it looks like Facebook has gone. It's giving me an error streaming to Facebook. Anyway. Wow. Okay. So it looks like we do have footage of it. We do have footage of the booster landing. Oh, they have their own tracking cams? What? They wouldn't have their own... Yeah, but they don't have a tracking cam out in the ocean where the booster was landing, right? Yeah, it makes those two scrubs worth it. Yeah, I agree. That was amazing. And that Starship, it's worked. It didn't look like there were any tiles missing. They might have data on that. I don't know if they have like a sensor going to every tile. I doubt it. I don't think so. No, I'm pretty sure they don't. But yeah, like there were none on the edges. Looked like it flew off. We didn't see any fly off. And we just had that little mini explosion which didn't affect it at all. That's incredible. So it obviously couldn't have been mission critical. Damn. Long zoom lens. It wasn't that. Oh, it wasn't that far away. Oh, it was just off the coast, was it? Oh, okay, cool. Okay, I'll have to go watch their stream. Great. All right. Wow. Anyway, that was awesome. Thank you everyone for joining me. That is incredible. That was yeah. So what are they going to do next? They probably won't fly Block 2 again. I don't think. I think they'll go straight for Block 3. They may not go for... I don't know. They could have already actually decided this beforehand, but I haven't heard. And I don't keep my ear to the ground that much. Just watch the other space YouTubers. They may not go for orbit next time because they're flying a whole new block Starship. So they'll probably want to do one controlled test flight of that first, I would suspect. But I don't know. I think they should go for it. I think they should go for orbit. And but the problem is, if they're in orbit and anything fails while it's in orbit, then they can't do a controlled re-entry, and it's going to come down somewhere. And yeah, they have no control over where it comes down. So, yep. Oh, another, thank you, Josh. Another New Glenn launch, September 29th. Wow, that's only 2 days. Oh, September. Sorry, we're still August, aren't we? September 29th. Great. And then they're doing the Blue Origin lander on the moon. They're doing a moon landing this year. Like probably, I don't know, November or December or something. They're doing a moon landing this year. So that's going to be awesome. So yeah, very happy. That's really good. They needed that. They desperately needed that win. Oh my God, did they need that? SpaceX were getting crucified by even the fans. They were getting like, why is this still blowing up? You know, like why can't you guys nail this? And sure enough, because they nailed the booster. The booster's fantastic. Only lost one engine, which is a nothing burger. Yeah, but anyway, that is great. And they deliberately stress tested all the, you saw it. It was like they were actually doing flight control tests of the thing while it was still coming down, and it still stayed on target, and they still nailed the landing within centimeters. That's amazing. Absolutely incredible. Did we get a shot? I can't remember. I have to rewatch it. When it was landing, did we see the heat shield side of it? Because that would have been something, if I was going to land it and I knew exactly where it was going to land and in which orientation it was going to land, I'd want the cameras on the buoy to be facing the heat tiles so that you can see how many heat tiles were missing. So did anyone manage to spot that? Did anyone manage to spot whether or not it was the shiny side facing? I can't actually remember. Shiny side? Yeah, shiny side? Or was it the tile side that was facing the buoy camera as it landed? There are a few missing, okay? Scott Manley has a cut of the landing. Oh no, he's already got a cut of the landing on X. You can see the tiles very well, but they are there. Okay, cool. Okay, so we did tile side. Great. All right, I'll have to review that footage. So I'll go do that now. I'm going to go edit my own footage and just from this stream, and put it up on my second channel. So thank you everyone for joining me. That was awesome. Third time, as somebody pointed out, it was Flight X that worked. Flight X is the thing that did the business. It's an omen. Anyway, catch you next time.